Step into the realm of biblical humanities, where a harmonious blend of intellect, emotion, and spirituality resonates at the intersection of biblical teachings and the humanities. Greetings, I'm Jesse Lee, representing the HuBIL Centre located in South Korea. In today's discussion, we will specifically delve into the psychological aspects of the fantasies and illusions held by Jay Gatsby, the enigmatic protagonist of F. Scott Fitzgerald's classic novel, The Great Gatsby. Join us as we unravel the complexities of Gatsby's psyche, exploring the profound intersections between his grandiose illusions and the spiritual insights that shape our understanding of identity and aspiration. To escape his circumstances as the son of a poor farmer, Gatsby embarked on a rigorous journey of self-improvement from an early age. When his father arrived for his funeral, he showed Nick Carraway a book Gatsby had kept as a child. On its back cover, Gatsby had meticulously written a plan and his resolutions for September 12, 1906. The plan included getting up at 6 a.m., exercising, studying, working 8 hours, practicing sports, oratory, and posture, and then studying for his inventions at night. He resolved not to waste time, to abstain from smoking, to bathe every other day, to read an informative book or magazine weekly, to save $3 a week, and to listen to his parents. His father believed that he was a child destined for greatness. However, Gatsby did not accept his fate as James Gatz, the son of a poor farmer. In his imagination, Gatsby did not even recognize his own parents. The character of Gatsby sprang from his Platonic conception of himself, as evidenced by his willingness to change his name to Gatsby when he met Dan Cody, the wealthy man who would open up a new world for him. Gatsby's Platonic conception of himself was as a son of God, and he parodied the actions of Jesus to reveal his calling. Jesus said to his parents in the Jerusalem temple when he was 12 years old, "But why did you need to search? Didn't you realize that I should be involved with my Father's affairs?" In the same manner, Gatsby perceived himself as a son of God, one who should be involved with his Father's affairs. But while Jesus' mission was to serve and to give his life a ransom for many, Gatsby's mission was the service of a vast, vulgar, and meretricious beauty. Having formed this image at the age of 17, to this conception he was faithful to the end. The first person Gatsby served with his life's calling was Dan Cody, a millionaire who owned silver mines in Nevada and copper mines in Montana. Cody was described as the pioneer debauchee, who during one phase of American life brought back to the eastern seaboard the savage violence of the frontier brothel and saloon. To Gatsby, Cody represented a vast, vulgar, and meretricious beauty. Cody's yacht, symbolizing all the beauty and glamour in the world, first captivated Gatsby's imagination. Although Gatsby did not receive the promised inheritance after Cody's death, he gained a valuable education that transformed him from the vague outline of Jay Gatz into the substantial figure of Jay Gatsby. The next object of Gatsby's devotion was Daisy Buchanan, the woman he came to love deeply. He was willing to forsake his lifelong dreams and freedom as a son of God for her. Despite his disdain for other women he considered either ignorant or hysterical. To use a metaphor, at his lips' touch she blossomed for him like a flower, and the incarnation was complete. The war separated Gatsby from Daisy, but he returned from it determined to win her back, amassing wealth by any means necessary. Believing that money could bridge the social gap that had initially separated them, Gatsby allied with Wolfsheim, a notorious gambler, and engaged in illegal activities like gambling, the bond business, and bootlegging. He eventually purchased a mansion across the bay from Daisy's home. Gatsby was convinced that she had only ever loved him, just as he had only ever loved her. When Daisy married Tom Buchanan, Gatsby believed that if she could tell Tom she never loved him, they could return to Louisville and recreate their past, getting married at her house. Even when Nick Carraway tells him that the past cannot be repeated, Gatsby insists otherwise. Nick realizes then that Gatsby wanted to recover something, some idea of himself perhaps, that had gone into loving Daisy. Gatsby felt that if he could return to a certain starting point and retrace his chaotic life, he could recover what he had lost. Gatsby's problem was partly a matter of what he thought of himself, and partly what he thought in himself. His issues stemmed from the colossal vitality of his illusion. Throughout his life, Gatsby was preoccupied with fantastic thoughts and ideals, continually fueling these fantasies each night until he fell asleep. Daisy, in effect, was a woman who could never fulfill the dreams and fantasies Gatsby harbored. Nothing in the real world, not even Daisy, could live up to what a man will store up in his ghostly heart. This is why, even as he spent time with Daisy, a faint doubt had occurred to him as to the quality of his present happiness. He questioned whether this reality was what he had been seeking for the past 5 years. Yet, in the moments when her voice held him most, with its fluctuating, feverish warmth, it became a deathless song for him. A song that could not be overdreamed. Gatsby deserves praise for his remarkable journey from a poor family to becoming a self-made man. Rising socially and economically in the 1920s was a monumental challenge, both in the US and elsewhere, much like it is today. Criticizing someone for seeking out influential people and taking risks when they have no one to support them is unfair. It is unfortunate that Gatsby became entangled with the infamous Dan Cody. Despite this, Gatsby excelled in his endeavors, avoided ignorant or hysterical women, and abstained from habitual drinking, demonstrating the discipline needed to pursue his dreams. Even when Dan's mistress, Ella Kay, stole the inheritance meant for him, Gatsby accepted the situation graciously and moved on. The real problem arose after his relationship with Daisy fell apart and she married Tom. Gatsby went to great lengths to make his lies to Daisy come true. He tried to turn back the clock by acquiring a mansion and amassing wealth through illegal means. At the root of his troubles was a distorted sense of identity. Instead of embracing his true self, Gatsby painted over his reality with fantasies. His disregard for his poor father and his view of himself as a son of God, doing divine work, were mere illusions. As he immersed himself in this fantastical self-image, his mind became increasingly detached from reality. Seeking out Dan Cody as a mentor was reckless, but choosing Daisy as his life's partner was the ultimate mistake. Dan was a rugged frontiersman who brought frontier violence to the East Coast. Daisy, on the other hand, epitomized the unthinking socialite, caring only for money, pleasure, and her own comfort. She took no responsibility for her actions, even murder, and left others to deal with the consequences. She truly represented a rotten crowd. Reflecting on Gatsby's story, Elizabeth Bennet's words from Pride and Prejudice resonate. "Till this moment I never knew myself." Gatsby's tale underscores that ignorance of oneself is at the root of many life problems. Thank you for joining our exploration of the psychological aspects of Jay Gatsby's fantasies and illusions. I hope this review of the classic novel has provided you with valuable insights. I look forward to our next discussion.